Capricorn, we're going to talk about Uranus going into Gemini at the end of April and a little bit about where it's been and what it's been like for you, and a little bit about where it's going. I really hope you can't hear my dog playing with her squeaky toy. I know Zoom does a good job of drowning out ambient noise. So I'm hoping that when I replay this, you're not hearing the squeaky toy predominantly. But I apologize. She'll calm down eventually. She's trying to get my attention. So anyway, how are you doing? So Uranus has been in the sign of Taurus for 7, 8, 9, or it hasn't been there for 9 years, but you felt the influence of this Uranus and Taurus for, let's say, 9 years. And it's been really focusing its energy in one area of your chart for that amount of time. And now it's going to go into a different sign, Gemini, in a whole new area of life. And so we're going to talk about what that may mean for you. I'm really hoping you can't hear the squeaky toy. It's because it's very loud. So anyway, Taurus dictates or oversees, influences the area of life where you experience romance, like new romance, dating, sex, kids, like those are all kind of related, creativity, play, and speculative ventures, which romance can be. But it's kind of like, I think of it as like, it's this life-giving house, life-giving area. So, because romance and new love, play, creativity, kids, these are all very uplifting, life-giving things. So it's a fun house. It's a fun area of life. And you've been hosting Uranus there for a while. And so what this let's talk about what this may have meant for you. There may have been surprise additions to your family, like surprise children, or you decided to have one child and it was twins, or something like that. You may have had romantic surprises, some ups and downs or reversals, or just surprises, unexpected events in your dating love life over that time frame. And it causes this Uranian energy within the romance itself, within the play. So, if you're there's also with Uranus, there's also this kind of radical edge to it, like something different or unique. So maybe the way a child came into your life was unique, or maybe the way romance came into your life was unique. But I would say if you do have children or children are in your life, you may have had some ups and downs and reversals with Uranus. There may have been like a very kind of almost a chaotic feeling to your life in these areas of romance. Maybe a happy kind of chaos. Children are happy no matter what they bring, but there could have been some ups and downs, some unexpected events with children. Children in your life. They don't have to be yours biologically. It could be adoption or with a partner, however they're in your life. It could be nieces, nephews, but some ups and downs, unexpected events, some happy, some maybe not so happy. But adding a little bit of a feeling of chaos and the need to quickly adapt. So there's like this agility, adaptability that you've had to develop in Taurus, the sign of Taurus, which rules the sign. Taurus is the least adaptive of the signs, one of the least adaptive of the signs. I mean, Taurus can be easygoing and it loves love. Taurus loves love. Taurus wants everything just to always be in balance and harmony. It doesn't like conflict. It wants everything just to be cozy, happy, like so this is the only thing that I can think of right now, like a Norman Rockwell painting or something. It just wants like bliss all the time. And that's what it craves in romance, with its fun and play. It doesn't like disruption. It doesn't like quick change. It doesn't love the unexpected, especially if it's negative. Taurus hates chaos. And so this may have been challenging in a number of ways for you, where you've just had a little, either a little bit of chaos or a lot of chaos or some controlled chaos. But it means that sometimes your life wasn't fun over the last 9 years, that life wasn't always like 100% snuggles and puppies and rainbows and fun dates. And, you know, there were some challenges in there. And so now, if that's been difficult for you, the good news is, even if it brought happy stuff, which it would have, because Uranus does, it brings a mixed bag. There may have been like lots of happy surprises. The unexpected could have been joyous, but it is disruptive, and especially in Taurus, it can feel it's hard to carry that energy there for a long time. And you've been doing that. Now, Uranus is moving on. It's leaving, depending on how old you are, probably leaving that part of your life forever. You won't have that same unpredictability, the controlled chaos, even happy chaos. It'll just settle down, which you will like. That will make you feel like better about that area. Now, the change bringer planet is moving into Gemini, which governs a whole different set of stuff. It will be impacting your daily life. It will be impacting your schedule and how you do each day. So this Uranian energy, you may have some surprises with work. So some surprise changes in a career, or it very much seems tied to, and it's tied to your value system as well. So you may be making some decisions about career in your daily life based on your values, a strong sense of values. And let me see. I want to get this right, so let me think about this. I mean, one thing I haven't mentioned yet is Venus is in proximity to Uranus as it moves into Gemini. This means, and just the way the chart looks, it's overall and I know the world is really wacky right now. The world does not look happy and like things are in harmony at all. But in the chart, there are some things that are very much in harmony. And, Uranus is actually one of them. As it makes its entrance, it's linking really well to Pluto, and it will continue to stay in a nice alignment with Pluto for quite some time. It's in nice alignment with Neptune, and will stay in a nice alignment with Neptune for quite some time. And so this is unusual, like these transpersonal planets just linking like this, and this beautiful, kind of beautiful energy. It makes, the one thing about beautiful energy, quote unquote, is that it makes things happen very easily. So sometimes unexpected, not so, or seemingly not so great things happen, but these are the kind, I would say, the things that unexpectedly seem not great that happen quickly are actually good. Most of you have lived long enough to know that something that looks bad at first ends up being good for you. Like a classic example is a breakup, where you later find out the person you broke up with is a horrible person, and you end up finding the love of your life who's way, way better for you, is a good example. Or a job, like you had to leave a job for some reason, you were laid off or fired, or somehow had to leave, and you find out that, oh, there's this other job is way better for me. I like the people better. There's way more money, and it's just a better situation all around. And it's so good that I had to leave that job. And so here it looks like for a lot of you, there's a lot to do with earning money. There's a money component here, and it's unexpected. It's an unexpected daily life money issue that may be impacting, and definitely, but it also could do with spending, like unexpected expenses impacting the household. Some of you may be managing kind of a complex household that looks, maybe it's not a farm, but it can look kind of like a farm situation. And only you can identify with that. And don't take me literally, like you actually have cows and pigs and corn. It doesn't have to be that literal, but there's something about managing a more complex kind of household for some of you. Some of you are very young and you don't have a household, and you don't have complex households, and you don't have a farm, But for you, it's more probably about work, your value system, unexpected changes, or being willing to be kind of on your toes and very agile and flexible with making money, how you make money. Like exactly what I just said, like being very learning to pivot easily, which you actually have a natural talent for this, knowing how to pivot easily. You actually have a talent for juggling complexity in the exact situations I'm talking about, at work, with people who work for you. You're really good at managing people, actually, multiple people. You're good at complex, thinking through complex daily life situations. This is also a talent that you have. You're really good at figuring out medical stuff. Like you're good at thinking through medical situations. And you may, now that I brought up this idea of medical, there may be somebody, and it could be a child because it's carrying over from the fifth house. But there may be, it doesn't have to be a child, but there may be somebody in your life who has a little bit of up and down health. And it could be more than one person. Just depends on what your life looks like. But there may be somebody close to you who has up and down health, some unexpected health events. But Venus is here with it. Plus, you have this talent and knack for dealing with exactly the situation. So you've got natural skill sets here, but there may be, and also there are all these nice alignments. So it feels like family is a good source of support. Your family may increase somehow. Your family may increase. It's a very crowded place as we begin this cycle. So I feel like whatever's going on with Uranus that involves your daily life, there's a lot of family, like extended family can be supportive, but there are also some tensions here, which I'll think about if I want to talk too much. I want to stay with Uranus as much as I can and not get into the whole chart, because then it becomes confusing about what Uranus is doing. And we really want to focus on Uranus right now. But because this area of the chart does deal with other people, I am talking about other people a little bit. You could have a love interest that suddenly comes in through work or through your value system, like however that happens. So a love interest could come in unexpectedly through work or your daily environment. And maybe that expands your family for some of you, but it's not everybody. It's not always going to shake out like that. Some people might change jobs suddenly, like sudden job change, sudden retirement, sudden coming out of retirement, but sudden changes with jobs, earning money, making money, and definitely expenses. Like expenses, there may be a lot of hidden expenses, unexpected expenses, and then the need to figure out how to make money and juggle your work life so that you can cover those expenses. But it just as easily could be a sudden job change, which lots more money, or the way you manage your work life, lots more money. There's a potential to make a lot more money here. But there is this idea of expanding family, possible love interest. You think about this. Again, I don't want to get too far into the other planets, but so let me think. I mean, it may seem more trivial, but sudden things to do with your animals, sudden events with animals. You may suddenly adopt a new animal like you didn't think you would. You may suddenly decide to get farm-like animals. You may suddenly decide to get chickens or sheep or something, goats. That may be on your horizon. And you may literally be thinking, I don't live on a farm now, but I want to. And so your home life could be expanding because you change something. Maybe there's some communal living here for some people. You may already have a sense of communal living, developing, you may be starting to grow your own food. These are just possibilities. They don't have to be exactly this. You could just be renovating a house, buying real estate because of some kind of expansion in your world. Maybe you have a home office and there's some kind of real estate like expansion to accommodate your work life. So a lot going on in the home, like on your property, if you have property. Now, if you rent, like let's say you're young and you're renting, or you're old and you're renting, this looks more like, for some people, it may mean that your work carries you, something about your work has you on the move. So home may be where you hang your hat. But family is very important to you during this next phase of your life. You're making decisions based on your values and family. And this is impacting this new area of life where there's just a lot of unexpected stuff going on with money and work. But it doesn't seem negative. It's just unpredictable. And it's having to adapt quickly, pivot quickly, as I mentioned earlier, that you have a natural knack for this. So your ability to pivot, you've got this Venus blessing here, your ability to deal with an ever-changing home life thing supports you, can support you. But I think as long as everything's anchored in your value system and you're clear on what your values are, then you're good. I would just watch expenses, maybe watch expenses. But overall, I mean, it's a cool chart. I mean, if you are interested in communal living or having more like a farm situation or growing your own food, having your own sheep, that's certainly cool. But you could live in the city and have like a communal garden still. You know, you don't have to be in the country on a farm. You could have like a communal garden, some kind of communal commitment that I don't know. You could, with other people, be sharing people who work for you. Like a lot of people, like if you hire I don't know, if you're in the position where you can hire a chef to help you with your crazy work schedule, maybe you share that chef. You know, if you can't afford your own private chef, which most of us can't, you maybe share that resource with others, so everyone's paying into the salary of the chef, you know. It's like it's very flexible, creative, using your creativity, learning how to share resources kind of thing. And again, I don't want to be too exact because your situation may be so different, but if just see if it rings any bells or if it fits any glimmers you've had of how you would like to live. It is well positioned here for you if these are things that appeal to you. All right, take care.